Blessed love, people. Ras Shamou Oladiipo here. I'm sharing some exciting news with you. Just on the path of self-discovery, self-identity, and I really believe in the motto Sankofa, to go back in your past and retrieve what was taken from you. So recently, I did an Ancestry.com or AncestryDNA.com DNA test to discover where my origins come from. You know what I'm saying? And then I compared it with GED Match. So if you are doing the same thing I'm doing, then hopefully this video can help you out, because when I first came on a GED Match, I didn't understand what I was looking at until I had to do some videos on YouTube or search some videos on YouTube to see what other people did and kind of make sense of these numbers. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it, all right? So here, as you can see on Ancestry.com, my DNA results over here. All right, so 43% of my DNA come from the Benin, Togo area. With that being said, because of that, let me just come back to this video real fast. Because of that, I ordered this book called Oida, and the Oida is short for the word, or other side, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Judah. All right, and I have a map, but I'm not gonna show it here. But anyway, I download that book because it speaks of where the ancestors came from, the name of that land, and so forth. So that's pretty interesting, because I and I, as a Rastaman and as Rasta people, we see ourselves as the chosen people of the Most High, Israel, as Hebrew people, Ethiopian Hebrews. But we're going to get right into that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We definitely understand there was a migration from, whether it be from Ethiopia to the west coast of Africa. But anyway, you can see here, 43% Benin, Togo, 34% Cameroon. It's the part in the green that just highlighted. 12% Ghana, 4% Germany, Europe, 2% France, 2% Ireland, 2%, 1% hunter-gatherers. Now this right here, the Germany, France, Ireland, as you see, I'm a very dark-melanin man. My last name is Pusey, as you can see up here. That's the slave master name. That was the slave business, the Pusey business. And you know the story. Every enslaved African that came from wherever they came from was bought from a business, and that business gave them the last name of that owner, which is the Pusey. So it's not an African name. Nevertheless, 1% Spain, 1% Nigeria, which is kind of interesting because Nigeria is right next to Benin, and Benin people can also be considered Nigerian, or the ethnicity is kind of the same. So it's kind of crazy. 43% Benin, but 1% Nigerian. Anywho, shows right here additional communities. My family is from Jamaica, mother and father, both of them. So I am an Afro-Jamaican. And if I click on it, it shows the island of Jamaica. All right, and it'll show some about the history, which I will not get into, but it has this timeline right here from 1750, when my ancestors came through, as it shows right here. Now I find this very interesting because I like to make my family aware, because I was always taught to stay away from people who practice obia and voodoo and things of that nature. But let's highlight this right here. Practicing obia became illegal in 1760 because slave owners thought it encouraged revolt, so many practiced in secret. So with that right there, which is very true, I have a book as well too. I might show you if I have time. But in 1760, it was the colonizers, the Europeans, that decided for the Africans to stop practicing obia, because obia is not Christian. And the colonizers brought Christianity, and they thought as though that, or not they thought as though, but they knew as though, like, people like Nanny and the Maroons practiced their indigenous ways and revolted against their enslavement and revolted against their bondagement. And that was the religious sort, that was the spiritual power that they was thriving off of. So the colonizers made it illegal in the whole country to practice this thing, and demonized it, gave it bad names. Obia is not even the original name of it. But nevertheless, when I'm discovering these things, I'm realizing a lot of things that my parents have taught me is coming from, or what my parents have told me was information that's coming from the white man per se. All right, so yeah, I'm not afraid of this thing, and I enjoy learning more about it, because that was what my ancestors practiced. That was their spiritual strength and power. Now they come to 1725. Sorry, not 1725, 1925, and I gotta highlight this because I am a Rastaman. And it spoke of Rastafarians venerated Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie, saw Ethiopia as the promised land. Now, even with that being said, I know that there was a migration from East Africa to West Africa. All right. So just have the history down here, and it definitely make me feel comfortable because I am a Rastafarian, and I believe that my ancestors calling me to this, and if I know so, and that my family's tied to this ethnicity and the country of Jamaica. So, boom, there we go. Anyway, friend told me to go to GED MAtch, and I'm going to go to GED MAtch, and right here, and just basically look up what my DNA says. So you upload your stuff in here. There's videos out there to show you how to do it. I go to add mixture heritage right here. All right, and when I go to add mixture heritage, you have a numerous of things to select on, like the MDLP project, Eurogenes. Now Eurogenes is with people who has mainly European descent, but you can still click it to kind of show where your percentage or where your chromosomes lying on the European descent. But I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna come down here to the Ethiopia helix just to show you, for example, what's going on. All right, I'm gonna click here, and I'm gonna go continue. And Ethiopia helix means the Ethiopian helix or DNA. Now it says Ethiopia helix and plus the French. I'm just gonna click African only. Because I just want to know about my African roots. But you can click anything you want. All right. Now, go to continue. It will, use your data and, things going on and highlight. Oh, it didn't upload. So let me refresh my browser. Yep. I see what I want. All right. Let me come back to it. All right. Let's try this again to see if this works. Alright. Oh, I think I forgot to put that in. But anyway, go back to African only. Gotta put your kit number in there. So, boom, there we go. I ain't put my kit number in there. Alright, so here we go. You see this big old pie chart right here. Now, the green shows I am predominantly West African. Alright? And it has the population right here, like the Nilo-Saharan. 6.29%, 3%, 2%, East African, 2% Pygmy, 1% East African, 3% Khoisan, like the Sans people, 65% West African, nothing of the Hadza people, 5% of the Biaka Pygmy people, 8% of North Africa, 2% Omotic, and Omotic come from the language of the Omoro people, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Now, what it's saying is that I have DNA traits that links to these different ethnic groups. All right. So I'm gonna go to Oracle. And go to Oracle, and I'm gonna click it, and you see, the population right here: 65% West African, 8% North African, 6% non-Saharan, 5%. So it breaks it down even more and more and more. Even goes down to the single population sharing. Now, these numbers, just explain what these numbers mean right here. What you want to do, or what basically GED MAtch is saying is that they approximated how close this is a match to you. So the closer the number is to the number 1, the more accurate it is. So as you see, this is 13. So it's like 12 numbers off. So it means that I still have a trace of this, but it's not a direct hit, a direct match. You understand what I'm saying? So based off that, number 1 is the Kaba people. All right. And you can also go online. Let's click another browser right here. And let's go to Google. All right. And the Kaba people, there's not a lot of information online about them from my understanding. Yeah, there's not a lot of information about them. Yeah, my browser's moving really slow. Maybe because I'm running OBS. But Kaba people. Alright. There we go. So the Sahara patrilineal ethnic group is the Nilo-Sudanic. So it's the people from the Sudan. You know, it's awesome. Chad, so Chad, the Sudan, that's that area. You know, matches is the closest match in regards to the Ethiopia helix for me. Um, so the like I said, the farther the number is away from the number one, the single number one, um, the less accurate it may be. So let's say that, all right, and it goes to all the ethnicities and so forth like that. Now it's not that far fetched because for some of these ones I'll show you that the numbers shows 65. This right here, the highest number is 31. So everything down below shows it's really all me. All right. Now go to mixed mode. Come down here. Same thing. 70% Congo. All right. 30% Fulani, and the distance is not far off. It get closer to 1. It's at 5. You know, the Bamoon people. I have this up here to show you the Bamoon people. Right here, the Bamoon people comes from, boom, Cameroon. All right, so that's like Central Africa. All right, so the Bamoon people and the Fulani people. All right, Bamoon and the Moroccans. You know, so all this, my DNA ties and all that. You have even go further down, 85%. You know, 14% Egyptian. So it's like a lot of my people, Congo, Bamoon, or Bamon, Congo, Bamoon, Hausa, all right, all these things, you understand what I'm saying, is me, and I give thanks. Algeria, before my grandfather passed away, a couple years ago, he told my mom that we came from Algeria, so boom, that popped up in there, and it's not that far off from the number one, all right, so deep down in the ancestry of my peoples, they come from that North Africa as well too, you know. There's a paper called the SF 181 where you put your ethnicity down, and it really deals with commerce or economics, but you know, you'll see like white and so forth. Well, if you're considered North African, you're considered white. So I have 12% of that in me, so I can actually probably put that on my paper, you know what I'm saying. But we know all people come originating from out of Ethiopia and just travel, you know, migrated away from that land. Let's go further though. Oh, I didn't do this. Let's come back. Hold the computer, keep up with me. There is one thing, the Oracle 4. Now, the Oracle -4 matches 4 different types of DNA traits. So still same thing, West African. Let's keep coming down some more. Kaba people. But look at this right here. When you mix 50% of the Bamoon people with 50% Fulani, you get about 9. All right. Now you have 50% Bamoon and 25% of the Bantus of South Africa and 25% Fulani. That gets you closer to 3. All right, so you have to mix all these things in, and same thing here as a whole list: Bamoon, Fulani, Kaba, Nguni, 3, Fulani, Hausa, Kaba, Nguni, 3. So it just shows, you know, my people originating from these different ethnicities and these different tribes. All right, even come down here: Bantu, South Africa, Fulani, Congo, Mandinka, 3. You know, and so this shows the more closer of a match, of a proximity of who I and I is as an individual. You can go furthermore, but I'm just looking at this and I'm ecstatic, you know. I read some papers, especially on a guy named Edward Boudère Pusey. He was a minister of the Oxford movement, basically a Christian minister. He has some meditation and teachings what people call Puseyism, or people who followed him was called Puseyites. This is very interesting, but nevertheless, he spoke about the Mandinka people in some of the articles I read, and gotta put your number in, and yeah, it just showed that my people come from that ethnicity. Same thing I did a punt DNA, sub-Saharan, 85%, you know. That's South Africa, Central Africa. Underneath that, I think that Kenyan or Ethiopian border is sub-Sahara, or basically under the Sahara. There's a sub meaning below. All right. You have to look up what these abbreviations mean. ENF, CHG. Sorry. I know this is American Indian. It's about 0.35%. Yada yada yada. Go same thing. Oracle shows it more on the single population sharing, like Northeast Bantu people. 13% Yoruba, 11% Mandinka, um, Gamanian or Ghamanian, Gambia. All right. Now, check this out. 89% Yoruba mixed in with 10.9% of the Kumki people or Kumyik people. Distance, almost exact match, real close to one. All right, like almost right there, like it's there. You know what I'm saying? And let's look at what the Kumyik people are. I think they're from Kenya, and it's interesting. I am tall. I'm 6'4", and a lot of people. Oh no, sorry. The Kums are Turkish people. Are Turkish people. So yeah, I remember this one now. So all this is all European stuff like that. European, you know what I mean, mixing in that, and then you see how, or the sources, how close I can be, you know, or is the appropriate match of what's in me, my DNA per se. All right. Um, let's go to. I can go to Oracle 4, but let's go to the one which is Africa alone, because that's like my real primary concern. Reason being, let me click this. Reason being because it's, you know, that's where we're taken from. You know, we was given a new name, and my last name was not an African name, and here I am fighting people to pronunciate my last name correctly, and come to find that's not really my last name. So why fight, right? Let's find my new name. And that inspired me to look more into E5, the spiritualism of that. When I said my name is Ras Shamou, Shamou is my first name, but Oladiipo is my Egbe name, my rites of passage name, and my Ori is Obatala. So I am Omo Obatala, means a child of Obatala, and Oladipo is my name. And yeah, it means one has many honors. So let's keep going. Mali Mandinka people, that's all me. Alright, keep going some more. The Ghana Brown people with the Hema people, about 4 distance. Nigeria Hausa 5, Ethiopian Tigray people. Here we go, Nigeria Hausa mixed with the Ethiopian Afar people, you know, so Amhara people. So it's all tied in, boy. Ethiopian Hebrews, I big up. So let's show it, and then close to 1, you know, about 4, so it's not that far off. Yeah, this is beautiful right here. It's very beautiful. It makes my the ancestors are real. The ancestors are real. Because like I said, I is a Rastaman, and cite Haile Selassie I as King of Kings and Lord of Laws, conquering the tribe of Yehuda, Almighty in the flesh. And we are the captive away, taken away Ethiopians, brought into this land. So to see this is pretty cool. Shows that my spirituality matches up with my ethnicity. All right, let's go here to the Oracle 4, where I said it matches like 4, compares different 4 ethnicities to it. All right. Now Mali, Dongo people with the Hema people, DRC, 6. Then you have Gongo, Fulani, and Kenya, 3. You know, so more close to the Kenyan people, the Nigerian, all that mixed up. Then we have the Mali, Cameroon, Nigeria, and Nguni. So, you know, this is the way you read it. Like I said, it's close to 1. As it gets closer to 1, it's more accurate. It's more accurate, and that's how you check for your DNA and compare it from Ancestry.com to GEDMatch.com. As you see, I'm happy about it. My next mission is to probably go through AfricanAncestry.com to show the Pacific tribe. But it shows that GED Match actually has your Pacific tribe, and GED Match is free. So I may save me some bucks and not go to it, but I am curious. So my curiosity will make me make me pay how much it costs, and it's pretty expensive. So hopefully they go on a sale one day and save me a few $100. But in the meantime, that's what you do. You know, go to Ancestry DNA, buy yourself a kit for $100. Recently, just ran a special for St. Patrick's Day where you get it for $59. I bought my Empress one, so she'll be getting her results soon. You get that, which is cheaper than $100. Match it up with GED Match is free, and you get an idea of where I come from. You know what I mean? So Bless and love one and all. Ras Shamou Oladiipo here. Follow Ras, and yeah, have a good one. Peace and love.